Arsenal left the Emirates roaring but unsettled. The scoreboard flashed a dominant 5-0, yet two of the club's most vital figures limped away with looks of real concern. Bukayo Saka, the spark on the right who has carried so much of Arsenal's creative weight, pulled up clutching a hamstring after a heavy duel. Martin Ødegaard, the captain and heartbeat, walked out with his arm in a sling. For a club revelling in the momentum of a convincing win, the sight of those two departing changed the mood in an instant and raised the stakes for every fan and every fixture ahead. Initial assessments have offered a sliver of optimism. Nothing catastrophic has been declared, and early signs point to short-term recovery rather than season-ending sidelining. But optimism without clarity is thin comfort. The scans that will follow determine more than minutes of a match report. They will decide who Arteta trusts next weekend, how England handles its qualifying plans, and whether Arsenal's push for the top needs a tactical or personnel reset. The manager knows this all too well. Weeks of careful planning and rotation can be undone in a single moment of contact, and the physical demands of the Premier League do not forgive thin margins. That's why the conversation immediately shifts from celebration to contingency. If Saka is absent for a number of weeks, the team loses not only a scorer and crosser, but a player who changes how opponents defend, dragging attention and opening lanes for others. If Ødegaard is limited by shoulder damage, the leadership and timing in midfield are altered. His vision and control are the axis around which the attack often turns. The encouraging part for Arsenal is that the summer window and a maturing youth pipeline have not left them empty-handed. New signings were bought with rotation and intensity in mind, a striker with presence, wingers who can stretch, and a creative signing promised to add options between the lines. Names like Victor Gyökeres, Noni Madueke and Eberechies are not just headlines, they are real, workable solutions Arteta can call upon. Gabriel Martinelli's versatility, Leandro Trossard's craft, and the excitement of academy talents mean the manager has more than one way to rewire the attack. That said, change is never seamless. Tactics will need to be adjusted, roles clarified, and trust rebuilt in combinations that have not seen the bright heat of top-level minutes together. The Liverpool game at Anfield, coming so soon after this scare, is an unforgiving test, a place where atmosphere and intensity compound the consequences of any absence. Fans will ask if the team's identity will hold without its usual protagonists. Analysts will wonder whether this is the moment depth is proven or exposed. Beyond club form, there's also the international angle. England's qualifiers and Norway's plans mean national teams are watching scans closely, and what seems like a short-term precaution for the club can ripple into squad calls and tournament preparation. Crucially, the psychological effect mustn't be underestimated. Injuries to leaders can galvanise a squad or fracture confidence. The tone set by training, by the medical room messages, and by how senior players step up will define the next fortnight. Arteta's public words, measured but real, already signalled the seriousness. Not panic, but reality. Over the next 48 to 72 hours, fans will follow the scan reports, the physio updates, and glimpse the shape of the matchday squad that travels to Anfield. In the background sits another narrative. The transfer window questions that always heat up when injury exposes vulnerability. Does the club need another midfield alternative? Is there urgency to add cover on the wing? Those conversations may resurface in boardrooms and inboxes now, but the immediate answer is on the training pitch. Who steps into the breach will matter. Can a new signing replicate Saka's timing and threat? Can a young academy player pair with the front line without losing momentum? Or will the team's balance demand a different formation? There's also a silver lining in all of this. Facing adversity early gives Arteta a chance to test the squad's real texture. Depth that was theory becomes practical when rotation is forced, and a successful spell without two stars would be the clearest proof that Arsenal can sustain a title challenge. For supporters, the message is simple but sharp. Caution first, hope second. Celebrate the scale of the Leeds win, but brace for official medical updates and the tactical choices that follow. In the coming days, we will watch scans, hear the squad management plans, and see who is trusted with the short-term burden. Whatever the result, this episode will tell us as much about Arsenal's roster as any headline signing, whether the club's summer moves and academy pipeline are enough to carry the weight, or whether this is a moment that forces a rethink. Stay tuned for the scans, because they will decide not only a matchday vibe, but the tone of the next chapter in Arsenal's season.